But I'd like to start by thanking the speakers and the contributors today. I thought it was of an incredibly high quality. Usually, if we're quite honest, there's usually a dip. And you think, that was good, that wasn't so good, that was good, that wasn't so good. Everybody, I thought, was fantastic today. They came, they spoke objectively, they spoke with insight, and they spoke with a passion and a care about the community of Scotland. So a great result, so thank you to the contributors and the speakers. This was very much about developing a route map for common ambition. And one of the things that I find heartening today was the word ambition, but probably more heartening was common. There was so much consensus. We started out posing the question, what sort of economy do we want to create, and how do we take that forward? Actually, there was immediate consensus on what kind of economy we create. Now, we chose these speakers because of their positions in the spectrum, the political spectrum, and yet there was consensus. You know, words such as an equitable economy, a just economy, a productive economy, an empowered economy, an innovative economy, a sustainable economy. There was consensus right across the board. What was more interesting was the how do we get there? But there was some recurring messages. For example, we need change. And I think that was very much endorsed by the voting today. We posed those questions, thinking there'd be a lot of stuff in the middle. There was actually a lot of things about clear, direct, tangible change to the economic development process. And that wasn't about attributing blame about what's happened in the past. No, 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 no. That was just about we need to up our game and rethink economic development. I also thought there was a constant return to this idea of bespoke economic development. We have to find our own solutions. We heard about globalization, we heard about new paradigms, but there was that recognition of Scotland has to find a model that suits Scotland, regardless of the outcome on the 18th. So very interesting. And I thought it was quite interesting. Keith started the day with his lexicon of economic development. We've had clusters, we've had competitive advantage, we've had urban regeneration, we've had business growth rate, etc. A lot of that's been top down, and a lot of it's been imported. We have to get better at matching the bottom up with the top down, and we have to start finding our own models. So very interesting in regard to the how. But as I said, there was a lot about common vision, common values, common solutions. And I think that's where EDAS has a role to play. It's about bringing the community together. We are not driven by a political mandate. We don't think in an electoral cycle. We are not committed to any one strategy, but we are actually a place for objective analysis and debate. And somebody at our table said EDAS has to have a plan, and that's what we're aspiring to with this route map for common ambition, and we have to shout about that plan. And I think there is a desire for us to look at the longer term, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, but let's have a model for Scotland that's got some longevity and that we're the keeper of the flame for that plan. I loved Robin's point about Scotland being a half-built Lamborghini. I just thought, magic metaphor. And perhaps we are partly responsible for assembling that full vehicle. And we're on the shop floor of economic development. We work in terms of project delivery, we work in terms of strategy, and we've got responsibility. So the subtitle for the conference was Developing a Route Map for Common Ambition. We've gone further than I anticipated today. There is real consensus. And we all agreed that when we wake up in our beds on the 19th of September, we'll still have the same problems, the demographic challenge, the inequality, the innovation issues. We really do have to have a route map that takes us forward, regardless of constitutional change. So we've come a long way today. I thought it was an incredibly rewarding day. Just a few thanks before I come off the podium. I'd like to thank you, the contributors, the delegates today who I thought really contributed and gave real thoughtful and insightful comment that was very objective. I'd like to thank my colleagues on the EDAS board for their facilitation. I'd obviously like to thank Elaine and Yvonne for their meticulous organisation and their team. And I would like to say that regardless of the outcome on September the 19th, let us not be disheartened. It is not 1979. I think Henry said, there's a sense of optimism. We must maintain that optimism, and we must apply it to economic development. Thank you.